This video shows how the PPC4000 parallel positioning system interfaces with the BurnerPRO Flame Safeguard. The BurnerPRO Flame Safeguard we're using today is a Generation 3 model, which has added user-defined timings, a Modbus interface, and a valve proving system, which is optional. The model we're using today does have the valve proving system. The valve proving can either be initiated during pre-purge or post-purge, and the one we're using today has the option set for pre-purge. So the first thing that I want to do when starting up the sequence is to close the limits to the BurnerPRO. So I'm going to hit the burner on-off switch on the PPC4000 to do that. It's going to send a signal to the limits of the BurnerPRO. The BurnerPRO is going to send a signal back to start the process to the PPC4000. Then it is going to send a signal to the PPC4000 to go to the purge position, so the servos will move to the purge position. When they reach that position, they will send a signal back to the BurnerPRO. Now the BurnerPRO is alternating the open and closed damper LEDs, indicating that it is traveling to a position and is traveling to the open position. So when the high fire switch or the signal from the PPC4000 returns to the BurnerPRO, it will begin purging and the open LED will be on by itself. Next, it's going to start the valve proving test. The power LED will begin flashing. And the first part of the test, the LEDs will move downward. First part of the test is to open the downstream gas valve to evacuate the space between the two gas valves. So it's opening into the combustion chamber to evacuate any gas that is in that space. So the gas pressure switch should pass that test, indicating that there is no gas pressure there. When that part of the test is done, then it is going to close the downstream gas valve and open the upstream gas valve to fill the test space or pressurize the test space. And then it'll close that upstream gas valve and it will run a test. And now it's running that test, so the LEDs are pointing upward, they're trending upward. It will make sure that the pressure stays in the space between the two gas valves, indicating that there is no gas leaking out of the gas valves. When the valve proving test is complete, then purge will resume. So the valve proving test is complete, and the open LED will stay on as the timed purge occurs. So this will occur for whatever the purge is programmed into the BurnerPRO for. So now that the purge is complete, sending the signal to the PPC4000 to move to the ignition position. So on the BurnerPRO, the LEDs are alternating, indicating that it is moving to another position. And when it reaches that position, the closed damper LED will be on. Okay, the closed damper LED is on. Now the ignition LED is on. So next it's going to move to the pilot, trial for ignition. So that is the blinking flame light. And when the pilot trial for ignition is established and complete, and it moves to main trial for ignition right now, the flame LED is on solid. Meanwhile, the PPC4000 still reads ignition because the servos are at the ignition position. Now the auto LED is on. The signal has been sent to the PPC4000, releasing it to auto as well. And now it is free to modulate to maintain the set point. So now we'll move around the PCV a little bit so we can modulate. Servos will move. Next, I'm going to hit the low fire hold button on the touchscreen. And low fire hold is an option that will just drive the servos to low fire. It's an easy way just to go to low fire. Next, I'm going to hit the manual modulation button on the touchscreen. Manual modulation allows me to use the arrows to choose a manual firing rate. So the last thing I'm going to do is turn off the burner's control switch on the touchscreen to initiate a shutdown. the servos will drive to low fire before the PPC4000 will actually send the shutdown command to the BurnerPRO, so it has an assured low fire cutoff. And then the BurnerPRO will commence its post-purge, and we're ready for the next cycle.